Next, we will use the trigonometric ratios that we just learned to help us find some ratios on an actual right triangle. We're going to begin by circling the acute angle that we are asked to work with. So the first example says sine of J. So let's go ahead and circle angle J. So before I begin, I'm going to figure out my opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse sides. So I'm going to start with my hypotenuse because I know that that's always going to be across from my right angle, which would be 61. So I'm just going to write the letter H next to 61. Then I know that across from my angle that I circled, so angle J, that would be my opposite. So 60 represents the opposite side. So that leaves me with 11, or side JL. That would have to represent my adjacent side. So that is the side that is right next to my angle, forming my angle with the hypotenuse. Okay, so now if we're going to find sine of J, I have SOHCAHTOA written up at the top here to help us work through these problems. So sine of J is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So since it's opposite over hypotenuse, I would put 60 on the top over 61. Next, I'm going to find cosine of J. So since I'm still working with angle J, I can leave my markings on the triangle the same. So cosine of J is adjacent over hypotenuse. So my adjacent side was 11 over my hypotenuse, which was 61. Next, I'm going to find tangent of angle J. So again, working with the same angle, so I can leave my markings. So tangent is opposite over adjacent. So my opposite side was 60 over my adjacent side, which was 11. My next three examples are working with angle K. So we see sine of K, cosine of K, tangent of K. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the markings on my triangle, and I'm going to go over and circle angle K. So my hypotenuse will stay the same because it's still going to be that side across from the right angle. But this time for my opposite angle, or opposite side from my angle, that's going to be 11. So that part is going to be different, which means my adjacent side will now be my 60. Okay, so starting off with sine of K, we want opposite over hypotenuse, so that would be 11 over 61. Next we have cosine. Cosine of K is going to be my adjacent over hypotenuse, so 60 over 61. Then lastly, we have the tangent of angle K, and that's my opposite over adjacent, so I would put 11 over 60.